Hey y'all, hold on one second. I was just making sure my volume's all up. I want to talk about a couple things, and then I have some cards. Okay, we're good. We're on the built-in microphone and we're rolling. So I'm going to share the cards. And especially some that were really important. I want to focus on those. Some, how it linked up with a random Bible pull. When I'm called to do that, it always syncs up with, it gives me answers to questions I forgot I was asked. I forgot that I asked. Like getting all our information from God. How are we going to do that without books and the internet and all this stuff? I'm going to share a verse. I believe I even made a video when I did a random pull and I opened up to the same Isaiah 22:22. I think I opened up to Isaiah 23 this time. I might have even done that last time, but I saw 22:22 at the top, so that's where I started. So, and then also a very quick brief, I believe it was Matthew 11:41. That was also a random pull, and the 411 number combination is significant to me as well. So the number 6 was coming up, and I'll share that. There's so much. Oh gosh, I'm just like, that's why I since that eclipse so much. Okay, so let's get started with the and I'm wearing a hat because my hair is just falling out all over the place and the skin on my head, it's gross. You probably can't even see it in the camera, but I just yeah, my head's chunking off. So but before I open the Bible, I will be taking my hat off, but I'm not going to have the camera on me. I just wanted to show that, hello, we're not robots over here. And so I'm just going to share the cards first. And then I have some synchronicity. Okay, so let's just go with this. So, and now this card's marked forever because my son nibbled on it a little bit. So the camera looks like it's going slow, but I checked it and then played it back, and it looks like it's fine when it plays back, but as I'm recording it, it looks slow. So, and I've gotten this one, this probably comes up every time I use this little deck. This is Kuan Yin. Compassion does not see the faults of others. It does not see the weakness of people. It has no ego. Yeah, true compassion just, and I'm quoting Sadhguru when I say this, true compassion is just doing what's necessary, and that's, Jesus, when he gave compassion, it wasn't always just, sometimes it was comforting, just rest your mind, just that kind of a thing when someone's really troubled, but, there was always an element of self-empowerment in there, like telling the woman it was your faith alone that healed you, okay? Because you have to believe in order to receive. How can you receive something that you have no awareness? You have no awareness of its existence consciously. So how can you consciously receive? You have to consciously receive. So you have to consciously be aware that abundance is there for you to receive. And God's just waiting to give it, So, and our God is so good and compassionate and but doesn't placate us with the victimhood, but God makes sure we know what our power is, okay? God doesn't create victims. He creates warriors, right? And this is Zebulon tribe over here, so so that was Kuan Yin. This is Buddha. And these are just teachers. I don't look at these as you know, I know who my Lord and Savior is, and Jesus is family to me. I don't even see it as like some, you know, I feel as though I'm counsel. I work with Jesus. I walked with him. I know him as I know my own flesh. It's just as simple as that. So for the masculine, this is for you. And this goes with one of the tree cards, okay, because it was the ash tree. Okay, so do not carry with you your mistakes. Rise up from the ashes. See a new beginning in every day. And that's so true. That I say that every day is a new day. I go to bed exhausted. I wake up exhausted and go to bed exhausted. It's like tomorrow's a new day, and I look forward to just a simple little my cup of coffee, you know, or you know, watering the plants, and that hasn't the tree just bursts forth with new blossoms or something, whatever. Just the simple, everyday things. Just knowing that tomorrow's a new day and the sun will rise again. Okay, it's like God, just faithful, right? We're the ones who waver in our faith because the flesh, right? It pulls us back. It pulls us back. And God understands that, and that's why he's so merciful. So, okay, so this was I want to say angel of love, journey of love, okay? So these all shot out too, so falling, okay, I'm going to take the camera off me now, I'm sorry, it's just, okay. Let's see here. Get pretty stuff in the shot here. Y'all don't need to see my raggedy butt. All right, or front. So, falling, okay, and that was 14. And so 1s and 4s, okay, because there was a 41 card, and then one of the explanations for one of these cards when I looked in the booklet was on page 41. So 1441 kept coming out. Okay, so and then Matthew 11:41. The first one that shot out, and I put it back in to see if it came back out, but it didn't. But because it keeps coming up in every reading, and it was end of an era from the butterfly deck. So, you know, but here's sentimental feelings, all right, and falling. Oh, maybe there's people out there falling for each other. Falling for Jesus, right? Falling in love with Jesus. So the Ganesha card, okay, and these are, I just look at everything as a teaching, just like Jesus's lessons and stuff. You know, people, oh, that's idolatry, that blah, blah, blah. I do as I'm guided from God and nobody else, so I always do my due diligence when it comes to God. So, and peacock, okay, so I was gonna do a animal card reading, and with the bird deck I was gonna it'll be interesting to see if a peacock, I believe the peacock is in there. Yeah, there is a peacock card, so it'll be interesting to see if that comes out. So here's healing, okay, and those blues and greens, very healing. The water, the sky, the grass, okay, the 528 hertz, the vibration of love, the chlorophyll, that emerald green vibrates too. That's why it's so soothing. Okay, so falling, sentimental feelings, healing, feelings, falling, healing, feeling. Okay, these are all right. And this, I didn't share, but I pulled this for myself, and these came out together, both of these. So, and this is considered this is like the fire, okay, and this is the water. As far as the sections in the book, this is the roots, and this, I forget what they call this section, but it's basically, okay, so it's fire and water, right? Now the ash tree, basically to sum it up, that's self-mastery, okay? And how do we do that? We let ourselves be forged by God through the fire. Okay? And what did the card for the masculine say? Do not carry with you your mistakes. Rise up from the ashes. See a new beginning in every day. And the Sugi, okay, now the Sugi, they have like a 2,000-year-old, okay, so the trees are like the recorders, okay, like Asaph the seer, that's why he, okay, so, unless there's another Asaph and I'm confusing, but to be observant, you have to be a seer, okay, so it makes sense that we record things, we connect dots, God discloses things to us, because we have the ears to hear, the eyes to see, we're the dreamers, we're the prophets, the same, whatever you want to call it. That's what the Sugi tree is. It's a recorder, okay? I think the oldest one is like 2,000 years old. Okay, so this is like during the time of Jesus, that tree. They have one in Japan that old. And so could you imagine if when we get to the kingdom and everything, we'll be able to read trees. We won't even need books. We'll be able to read a leaf, and a leaf will tell us, what's wrong with the plant, just our communication is just going to be so divine. It's not going to be this the way it is down here. This is not the way God intended it to be. So, and the scientific name for this tree, for the Sugi, I forget the second part, but the first, Cryptomeria. Crypto. Okay, crypto, because they're so old and ancient. Cryptomeria, and it's in the roots, the water side. Okay, the very watery trees. Okay, the divine feminine, Lemuria. If you resonate with the ancient Atlantis, and it doesn't mean that it's separate from Jesus. Okay, the ones that have been shown what they've been shown, they know what they know. And I know that, and I also know Jesus. Jesus has come to me. I don't need to explain myself. It's just, I feel like I'm the interracial kid in the family who it's like, all the racist people from the black side of the family give me their shit, and then all the racist people from the white side of the family give me their shit. It's like the interracial kid in the family that gets it from both sides, right? So, anyway. That's why God made me so strong. To go through all the things I've had to go through in my life. Like mind-melting things like Morgellons and all this stuff, right? That's nothing compared to, like, what you realize when you wake up to everything that's going on. And truly what it does is it leads you to God. Just the omniscience of God. Right? That's why I truly believe that we can have everything restored. Lucifer can be fully restored. Everything, everyone, every child, blind. Okay, and that was also in a part that I read, because I was like, they say dumb in the Bible, but the mute children will be able to speak too. And then the next line was that. And that's on my heart because I have an autistic child. So, and I have an illness myself. Like, we're going to be restored back to everything's going to be. I've just been waiting to see God's creation the way He intended it to be. So they're going to clean it all the way out, come from Keter all the way down, clear out all the Sephiras, all the dark aspects of everything, and purified all the way down. And that's how the kingdom is going to be. That's how it's been infected, right? It was when the fallen ones that just infected the tree, but it's all over, just infected, just like a tree that gets infected with mites or what. It's just the whole thing's been infected. So, I just want to cry for God sometimes, but I believe He also created an aspect of Himself. Okay, the fallen ones falling, okay, so He could experience the opposition of Himself. right? Just like our life down here. We wanted to experience this pain so we can know the sweetness of how sweet the sweet was. You know, we need to taste the bitter. God wanted to experience all that stuff too. That's why he came in the flesh as Jesus. He wanted to experience everything. He wanted to know how hard it was, how, you know, and how beautiful too. So, our God is just such an awesome God, and I just can't wait to be with Jesus again in the kingdom the way God intended it to be, no fear, and everything's restored back to perfection. Every crystal forms perfectly because it has the time, the space, and the perfect environment to form itself perfectly. Okay, just like every plant, every person, everything is going to be like that. Okay, and this came out for the Gem Oracle deck, and my twin was definitely coming in, and I'll show you. This is the Virgo card, throat chakra. The smoky quartz is all about dreams. Okay, this is Virgo. And what number is that? Oh, 18, which reduces to 9. And it represents Earth. Okay, and Virgo's Earth sign. And here's a yogic pose. I don't know what it's called. I'd have to look in the book, but that's a good one to stretch out the torso, obviously. This one flipped the F out. And this one, as I was finishing shuffling what was in my hand, it kept sticking, and I was trying to get it to go back in, and it ended up falling out. So this, here this one is again. Okay, but this is that I got creative energy from something, another one of these cards or something. Or maybe it was on this one. An influx of sexual energy is coming your way. Embracing both masculine and feminine aspects of the self creates wholeness. It is safe for you to express your sexuality in whatever way you choose, provided you do it lovingly. So that sexual energy, it's just, it's the creative energy is what I like to call it. But a lot of us, we don't know consciously what to do with it. When it rises up, we just want, that means we want to go have sex with our husband or wife. But it says doing it lovingly, right? Look at how lovingly, gentle, just, you know. They're not all like trapezing it like acrobats or something. Just the ease of true love, you know. It's not a performance, and the sexual energy is the creative energy. So you don't always have to just, you know, when it rises up, go grab your husband or wife. You can maybe paint a beautiful picture that you share with the whole world for eternity, and it sits in a museum. I don't know. I'm just saying. This is big energy, and we can, if we go with it and flow with it, we can create great things. But we always like, you know, because I want to show you right here. See how right here, like there's this light coming in right to where her third eye is. Okay. So it's like you can use that creative energy to tap into, you know, your visionary aspect of yourself and get ideas from God as to, you know, creating a business, whatever kind of creation. Okay. And then flame of love. I mean, hello, twin flames. I mean, so allow the infinite power of love within you to radiate unconditionally in all directions. Yet stand tall in your sense of self and in your own truth. The healing power of love will help you burn through all illusion, and you will discover new possibilities. This is a powerful time of transformation, ideas, and creativity. Yeah, that's what I was saying, creativity, right? So that came out, right? Flame of love and sexuality. It's all about creativity. Okay, balancing the masculine and feminine. When you do that, they both explode divinely. Okay, so she just is creative right? Of the abundance, the proliferation, the pomegranate energy, right? So, this is the Whispers of Love deck. That was the Spirit Oracle deck. Okay. I love that deck. A lot of Jesus cards in there. And so this is the one that popped out from the Whispers of Love. And it's card 27, which reduces to 9. So there's another 9. Oh, and then Healing was card 36. So there's another 9. Virgo, 9 months. Virgin, we'll get to that one. So spiritual connection. This relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. And see again how, like, it's almost like her third eye is connected to his crown chakra. Right? It's like she gets the visions from God, and she like telepathically communicates the truth of that, right? Because she's the divine feminine, right? Because she feels it, the heart, the emotions, right? Sentimental feelings, right? We feel it first, so we have to feel it, bring it in to translate it. We're going to be able to communicate like this. Words, no one will be able to manipulate us with even the Bible and stuff. Because watch, I'll show you why. Okay, so this is the one that came out for this Sacred Rebels. I was going to say Spiritual Rebels. So this, and these all flew out. These were all, okay, I just shuffled and shuffled. I did it all like, sinner style first, like casino style. Because sometimes they want to start popping out right away, and that way I feel good about how I broke the cards up at least a little bit first. And so, coming to life, this is 43, which reduces to 7. And you can see she's painting herself with gold paint. And then there's grass. There's green grass in between these black and white tiles. There's also white butterflies. So there's a snake, a little snake. She's got a raven on her shoulder that represents, like, that's kind of like the master totem who has access to the astral and all these. Okay, that ancient wisdom, the gospel. You can tune into that, get every story of the gospel without even reading the Bible. This is the energy of the divine feminine. Okay. She brings things together. She creates life out of just, stark. See that gold paint? That's that Christ consciousness, that heart-centered Christ consciousness is what brings us to life. That's how we awaken, is when that gold comes into our life. And the purity of the white butterfly, that's like the Holy Spirit, and then the wisdom, okay? So there's like, she also knows what's hidden in the darkness, okay? She's very wise to the things that are hidden as well. She's not afraid because she's the divine feminine, okay? She gives birth. You can't, the womb, right? And 7 is a very holy number, right? That's the number of God. And see how it's wrapped around her arm and her, so she's like, her divine Holy Spirit, she's like the, clairsentient, like channeling that directly into her life, anchoring the Holy Spirit directly into her life. Okay, wise as serpents, gentle as doves. These are white butterflies, but So, and she knows her power. She knows, she knows she's high council. She got the raven. She got the, right? She knows God. She doesn't need anybody else to tell her about her God. The Most High, the one who made her, right? That's why she's coming to life, because she's realizing who God is. That's how, it's almost like we die. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, because I'm that Hebrew, true brew blood. Yeah. That's why we've had to be punished too and dealt with because of our, and I know that we had wavering faith, because that's probably the one thing that I've struggled with the most. That's why I was agnostic most of my life, because I'm just like, it's too much, it's too confusing, I don't know what to believe, screw it all, I'm just gonna try to be the best person I can be, and there's got to be something more to all this. And I believe in life after death. I know people who've had near-death experiences, and they went to heaven and all this. Okay, so but I don't know where I was going. I just love God. I just can't wait to be restored, and for Jesus, for God to come back, and to just the love that's going to be able to be experienced. I like to just sit and fantasize about that. I've had some dreams like that where we're just on a grassy knoll and there's trees around and people are just dressed in beautiful colors, but just humbly and simple, and there's men hugging men, women hugging men, women hugging women, and all just brotherly, sisterly love. Nothing, never an inkling of any kind of weirdness, of fear of and I felt, and I was hugging someone, this was like months and months ago, we were just on this grassy knoll, it was sun shining, I just saw people around and brothers and sisters hugging each other like we're at a family reunion at a park or something, big beautiful pine trees all around us and blue sky, and it was just so peaceful and so it felt so reassuring we felt safe. It felt like there was nothing but love, and the safety of that, it was like nothing. I've never experienced that in life ever. But other than that dream, it was just, I mean, I've had something close to it before, but it was just like there was nothing I had to do. We were all just hugging, embracing. I was hugging this man like it was my brother, and there was never a thought of any weirdness, anything, no fear ever, no doubt, no anything came in. So I know how it's going to be. I've already been given insight into the sentimental feeling of it, okay? Because a lot of times when we're given stuff, it could be words, it could be visions, it could be a feeling that you have to work through and decipher and figure out. Like this word transition, and a lot of people, I'm not talking about tarot and twin flame community, I'm talking about the Christians, the watchmen, they're getting these words too, right when I'm getting them too. So it's like, this is God speaking to us. Last year was restoration, now it's the transitioning, and it's all happening. All I can say, that's all I can say. Because and let me show you. Okay, so that coming to life in the sacred, so there was a couple decks that were significant as far as the top and bottom card. So Legacy of Light, right? That also reduces to a 7, just like coming to life with the golden paint there. Legacy of Light, okay? The people, the Hebrews that are going to restore the church, be down here with Jesus, and I mean, the kingdom is right the way it was. I just want to cry when I think about it, because it's just the way God intended it to be. It's going to be so beautiful. I can't wait. And this was the top card, 22. And I saw that truck again with the big 22 on it outside on the porch with my son. And we don't always wait on the porch, and so I saw it twice. Okay, so with a big 22 on the back. No other markings, no company name, no big white garbage looking like truck, big 22 on the back. Saw it twice. So she feels, she knows. That's what I'm saying. Okay. A lot of you people out there, you feel, you know. Let me just get the arrow back right. Okay. So, and that's 22, okay? She feels, she knows, she's coming to life, she's starting to remember, right? My twin's last name means bold counsel. And all of our names together, and my last name's Weber, which is Eber, the sons of Eber. All sons of Eber come from Shem, If you want to know what tribe you're from, if you want to know what son of Noah you're from, I mean, I figure it was probably that, but God will give you Gematria numbers over and over and over. You keep seeing 343, you look it up, or whatever number it was, but I kept getting Eber and Zebulon. I'm like, God has to pound me over the head, because we've been obstinate, and this is why the Hebrews have had to suffer too, because our unwavering faith has not been unwavering. It's been wavering. And I know this because, like I said, this is like the number one thing that I've struggled with in my whole life. You know, even it'll want to creep in even now. You know, not right this second. I'm just saying, but you know. So it's when that comes up, just take a minute to let the thoughts process up into the higher regions of the brain where the real computing happens, and you'll remember all the signs and healings and miracles and stuff that God has given you. Okay? Now, when you recall all those things, that should eliminate that doubt. Okay? So allow yourself to go through that process. When that doubt, that wavering of faith creeps in, sit back, meditate, ask God to remind you of all of the miraculous things that He's already shown you to prove Himself to you. And He'll keep doing it if you want. I mean, but we got to get to a point where we know what we know and just have unwavering faith in that. You don't need... This is why we were punished in the first place and chastised and everything, because we kept needing signs and signs and signs, and we still didn't believe. And Jesus came down and we still didn't believe. Okay, so... God's like, I'll come down in the flesh, which is, God, and right, and we still had unbelievers up until the last days, even after 7 years of tribulation. Oh, God, I'm like, God, are there still going to be people even after the 7 years that they're going to be like, it wasn't that bad, and their souls, they're going to be destroyed. They'll have one more chance. After all of that, there's still going to be some. But there's just this piece in my heart that goes, I just believe every soul can be restored. Everything can be, because I believe in the power of God. I don't believe in anything else but the omniscience of God. That's why I believe that can happen. Not that God will force you to choose Him, but I just keep saying, God, you're that powerful. I know that you will make it impossible for us to choose anything else, because just bombard the F out of us to where it's impossible for us to deny you. So, you know, anyway, when I did some automatic art and I shared it on my channel, and I was doing these raindrops, and I did another raindrop inside of that. And then it looked like a flame, as if it was like raining flames. And then, you know, there's people saying that it's going to rain fire, and this is what I believe. Yeah, I do believe that, you know, volcanic eruptions, raining fire, these kinds of things are going to happen. And fire, famine, and flood, the letter F is a 6. Fire, famine, flood, 6, 6, 6. So anyway, just all kinds of things like that have been coming through lately. Okay, this is the Isis Oracle deck. Okay. Yes, everyone stole the story of Jesus and made it their own. And so Isis is Iris, goddess of the rainbow. Okay. It's, Horus would be like Jesus. Okay. So this is two of these both flipped out together. And this is all about the mother, the golden grain mother. Okay, this is the mother. This is the son. So, divine sun child. Oh, blessings of the sun falcon. Falcon's one of my totems. And then nourishment of the golden grain mother. Okay, so harvest, the mother of life, divine sun child. the Virgo thing with the, moon at her feet and giving birth to Jupiter and all that stuff that they're saying about. All I'm saying is these two cards flipped out together, and it was like that. Okay, the Sun Child, that was the first. That was like that. Okay, and this one was behind it. So. Okie dokie. I'm not even going to go into those, but I will show you the top and bottom of that as well. The deck. So when I stopped, or when those flipped out, Life Restored was on the bottom. Priestess of the Phoenix, okay, rising up from the ashes, the ash tree, divine masculine, and then the top was divine sisterhood. So, right, the Hebrew women, we're going to take our place again in the church as the high priestesses and rule with Jesus, and it's going to be beautiful, heaven on earth, as God intended. Respect of the divine feminine, and honoring both divine feminine and masculine equally rule together. And at that, Jesus was all about that too. He was beyond gender, age, race, but all that. He wasn't against anything. He was for God. Because God doesn't say, don't do this, don't do that, because you'll say the thing, someone might leave off the don't and be like, oh, I missed the don't, so I was thinking I was supposed to do this. God tells you what he wants you to do. Believe in me, trust in me, follow me, right? Have faith in me, listen to me, okay? He's not going to say, don't listen to those people, because you might miss the don't part and say, to yourself, oh, he said listen to these people. God is affirmative, 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 always telling you what he wants you to do, not what he doesn't want you. What he wants you to not do. He doesn't tells you God tells you what he wants you to do. Like, even if it's a warning, beware the dark actors. He doesn't say don't go near the dark actors. He says, beware the dark actors. Then you got to go Google this shit because you don't know what okay, I'm trying not to say the F word, but, Oh, I think God created curse words, too, because we need a pressure relief valve. You know what I mean? Okay, so Life Restored and Divine Sisterhood. Community of the spiritual sisters and brothers of light. Oh, and family of light from this deck. Remember, I'm telling you people, we're the light of the world, and it's coming, and it's happening, and I can't wait, and I want to laugh, cry, like, I've been wanting to laugh, cry since I realized this twin flame stuff, and it's just been one continuous laugh, cry, even in my dream, my sleeping dream, waking dream, sleeping dream, one big laugh, cry. It's just, okay. So I'll share this angel cards, very important. I'm not going to put it on the Bible now, even if they're angel cards, but still. Okay. I can rest my arm on the Bible, but I don't put anything else on the Bible, not your phone, not a card, nothing goes on top of your Bible except another Bible or, your flesh. Okay, so these two cards came out from the Gateway Oracle deck. Beautiful. That's what it's going to be like. Oh, and I had the dream of everything like crystals everywhere instead of pebbles and dirt, and so everything was clean and like crystally, shiny, sparkly, all over the ground. You could walk barefoot and stuff. And I was watching a video out here of a woman who was, she was sharing her son's story when he was 10. He had a near-death experience, and his brain came back to perfect function and everything, but his lungs and his heart were permanently damaged. So he had a normal life, okay, and his brain was fine and everything. It's just the lungs and the heart were weak and permanently damaged, so he died, or he transitioned 3 years later when he was 13. So, but when he was 10, he had this near-death experience, and he was dead for 40 minutes. Okay, and 40 keeps coming up. Okay, so this number 40. Oh, when he was 13. Okay, that's the number of the Divine Feminine, Divine Mother. He was describing his experience and how Jesus came to him and everything, and all the babies in heaven. So all the babies that have died from diseases, abortion, child sacrifice. It's all child sacrifice. Okay, it's all been child sacrifice and of the devil since the beginning. But just like slavery, okay, we're all slaves down here. Do we have a choice whether we can function without money? Not really. Do we have a choice whether we can live on any land, anywhere? Not really. We can't travel the seas freely. We can't do anything, okay, freely. We're not free down here. So it just looks different, but it's still slavery. It looks different, but it's still child sacrifice, okay? And Gehen. Oh, I got to go into that. But anyway, so this is... I'll do the links after I do the card. So, look what came up. Excuse my son in the background. He kept taking his diaper off and ripping up the couch, and I'm like, okay, time out. So, he's in his giant room that's filled with a giant trampoline and all kinds of stuff. His own school table with a dozen chairs, and yeah. So anyway, you might hear him. He's fine. Time out. So we get a lot of those in this household, so perfect time to do a reading. Or these are cards from yesterday, but I didn't want to do a video yesterday. I just wanted to. I like doing doing a reading, and then if I'm called to share it, that way there's not a pressure of like making a video. You know what I mean? So everything just kind of flows the way it's supposed to, and there's no added interfering energy of like, you know, holding on to expectation of like, I'm going to make a video with this, you know. But I decided today there were some important messages in here, so. Receiving from angels, shimmering wings of angels embrace me with love, and dwelling in truth, I stand in the light of truth. So, those are pretty self-explanatory, right? And these came from the Resonance Oracle deck. Now, it's kind of glary. Now, that's inner cry, and she's walking on a path of fire, okay? Now, this is heart's tears, okay? So both crying, tears, okay? And this is a path of ice. Fire and ice. Masculine, feminine. How do we return to the water of the divine feminine? See, she's all froze up. She's been silenced. She's been, you know, right? The wisdom, nobody wants to listen to a woman, you know? Hence, no woman president. I mean, we're kind of moving, but that's all political stuff, okay? In God's kingdom, we rule side by side. Okay? The woman is respected just as much as the man for what they contribute. They don't contribute the same thing as a man. And a man doesn't contribute the same thing as a woman. We need both. That's why God created masculine and feminine. So this burning fire needs to come in and melt this ice so we can return to the water of life, the water of truth. So we can flow where God guides us. If we're just all fire, okay, masculine, we're burning shit out, we're destroying. It's just destructive, okay, polluting, okay. So, and then the woman, or I should say the feminine, and this is the energy within men and women, okay. So the feminine, now she's all froze up, scared. It's not safe to come out. So she got to be all locked up, like cryogenically, like in a time capsule for when it's time. Right? So now this masculine energy is balancing out. That's what Jesus is all about. Okay? The balance, harmony. You can only have that when everything is balanced. So this water is going to be flowing, the truth of life. The light of the world. You are the light of the world. I love watching those, but I can't cry too much, so I don't watch them all the time. But the Son of God, I believe, is the one I like the best because it really focuses on pretty much every line is the gospel out of the Bible. Okay, so it's like quoted for this, so there's not like a bunch of added in, which I mean they pretty much do a good job in most of the movies. But the Son of God is really, I really like that one, and I think you can watch it free on YouTube. So, okay, now this card flipped out. This is Uriel, okay, and it's abundance. Okay, this is the tree of life. This is the divine companion, Uriel. Okay, Uriel is also Ariel. Okay. Now, when that flipped out, Metatron was on the bottom, okay, with miracles, and Sandalphon was on the top. Okay, Sandalphon, that's Elijah. That's a form of my son's name. Eliakim, Zoshim, Joaquin, Evo, Ivan, Evan, Yvonne. Okay, so there's Eva, there's the masculine and feminine. In English, it's John, which is the love and light of God, which is what? God's grace. And that's what Anna is. Anna is the feminine too. So Sandalphon, was made an angel straight from a man, okay? As well as Enoch, Metatron. So Elijah and Enoch become Sandalphon and Metatron. And when I open this up randomly, let's see if it does it again. I was going to say I doubt it, but I don't doubt it. Okay, well that opened up to Zafkiel and compassion that time, so that's fine. But what I did was I opened up to Sandalphon. Oh, now it's Metatron. That's funny. Because I was going to cut in, and I'm like, I'm going to open up to another Sandalphon or Metatron, aren't I? Oh, that's right. I opened up to Planetary Cycles, and what's behind it? Metatron with mercy, right? God's going to have mercy on us. He's got his angels, and we're all going to be okay. Oh, and there's another Uriel with friendship right there. So that's the one I opened up to originally, was Planetary Cycles. Okay, and we had miracles with Metatron on the bottom, and love with Sandalphon on the top. So these planetary cycles, this thing that's happening, the mother, these Isis oracle cards with the Isis and Horus, the mother and the son, okay, the birth of the sun child, hello. So miracles and love, and this literally has like, okay, the birth of this baby here. Beautiful little Hebrew baby. Hebrew baby. Hebrew baby. True brew. Everyone will have a chance to come to God. Everyone will have an opportunity to be restored. And God's going to deal with different people differently, just like he has our whole life, right? But all paths lead to God as long as you keep going down the path and progressing forward and letting God lead you. Eventually you'll get, right? All paths lead to God. So just trust that your path is the one God has carved out for you, and keep moving forward along. Let him coax you, usher you down, guide you along. He'll tell you what you know as you need to know it. There's a curve up here, all right, brace yourself because there's going to be a little bit of a storm. God, if you allow yourself to be open and you believe, you will receive so that you can prepare for things. You'll know when things are coming. I know what's coming. I was given the trumpet dream last year, and all the saints, all these synchronicities of the saints coming to me right around their feast days, and just prophetic things being told by Archangel Gabriel, and I didn't even know it was her until I made these other connections months later because whatever question you ask, you'll get the answer. I was wondering why I got a warning from Google Plus, and the timing of it was right after I posted, not even on my channel, on my Google Plus page, I posted the very first chemtrail video I ever took. I was leaving the house, and I've told this story before, and I was told to turn around. I didn't know why. Something said turn around, look behind you, and I did. And there was a purple like film, not when I was recording it, but later when I watched it back. And for some reason I felt I felt that this was during the time of the saints, and I believe that was during the time of the saints, maybe. But I just felt, when I saw that purple, I thought Archangel Michael, I thought Saint Germain. I was like, God told me to turn around and see that chemtrail. And I think that was the first time it really dawned on me, because I've heard this, that, and then I was like, when God tells me, I listen. So I had that actually on my phone for months. I can't remember, but I finally posted it, and not even on my channel, on my Google Plus page, and I get a warning from Google Plus, something, just one of those generic, wasn't specific, but the timing of it, I was like, does this have to do with that, and what? So I asked God what it was all about, and I didn't know it was Archangel Gabriel at the time, but then I think back and I'm like, okay, because some other people were saying I was getting synchronicities that triggered that with me, because they were saying at the time I didn't know they were angels, but now looking back with these other things that happened, now I realized what was going on. I was like, oh, okay, because I know Gabriel brings warning, okay, alerts you, and brings something to your attention, that trumpet. And so it was dark. I was sitting outside. It was like someone's backyard. It was like a brick barbecue, like she was cleaning up after we just had eaten or something, and it was just me and her, me and Archangel Gabriel. I thought it was just some woman, but turns out it was Gabriel, and she had very fair skin and long wavy red hair, and so I can't remember if I said something, but I just remember she kind of looked at me telepathically. She said, "You've alerted the AKE," and it was right before I woke up. So I woke up and I go, AKE. Oh, okay. Hurry up and go, look that up before I even had a chance to write it down and forget it. I just, I think I Googled it right away. And I made a video about that. It actually says AKE, or I've alerted the AKE, something in the title. So it was months ago, maybe, I can't even remember, but months ago, maybe even last year. Whenever all this was going on, when I started doing the chemtrail videos and everything. And so I looked up the AKE, and it's a security company. They have an affiliation with CNN, and they're big time. So I just thought that was odd. I'm like, why would a security company have an affiliation with a media company? Okay, because these are the big wigs that they make these false flag events and all this stuff. They secure, they're big wig security. They do political events and stuff. Okay, and they have an affiliation with CNN. I'm checking out their website. I'm going, okay. So the AKE, that's what she said. You've alerted the AKE, verbatim, just like that, telepathically. She looked at me, she said, you've alerted the AKE. So before all of my awakening and Morgellons and blah, blah, and all this stuff, when I was out in New Mexico with my dad and things, I was sick. I didn't know what it was, but I was starting to get end of the world dreams and different things happening. The day that Robin Williams died, that night I had a dream. And I didn't watch the news or anything like that, but I was on Facebook. That was the only way I could communicate with friends. I didn't have a phone, and my dad's always on the internet, and it made the line all scratchy. So, anyway, I was doing a lot of writing. All this stuff was coming out about the gavels coming down and the playing fields being leveled. The gavels of God and Gaia coming down and leveling the playing fields. All this stuff. And I've never read the Bible. I probably was still agnostic at that point. I don't know. But that's when Jesus came to me when I was out in New Mexico. He came to me in my dreams, the end of the world dreams, different things. And I'd been having different dreams all my life since I can remember. And then now they're all linking up. But I dreamt that night, and I can't remember the actor, but it didn't really matter. It was just kind of like this popular white dude with blonde hair, blue eyes that was in that Bachelor movie with Zach Galifianakis, and I don't know. It was like a comedy. He's like the good-looking actor with blonde hair, blue eyes, whatever. The tall, slender, whatever. He was in I would say some movie, Cherry Crush or some weird, I don't know. I've seen a couple weird movies, but anyway, I don't remember his name, but I just remember his face, and he was kind of like popular, a little bit popular at that time or whatever. I just remember it was like the evening, and we're outside at this little event. There's little tables around. It was like after, so people were kind of drinking, and he was kind of like drunk. Like, I was like, because actors, you don't know how they're really like, because you see them a certain way. And I didn't really care that it was an actor. It was just God was showing me, okay, we don't know except for what we see, okay, but he was giving me a peek into behind the scenes of, okay, this actor, see, he's drunk and he's acting a fool, and he had just like drunk eyes and distant, no connection. I was just like, just that gross behavior of like when you're, it's not even that they're doing anything, it's just that they're so disconnected, okay? When you get drunk or when you're intoxicated on drugs, there's this disconnect that is just really low vibration, because God wants us to connect, okay? Life wanting to live. So when that disconnect, it's a real gross, low vibrational, quicksand, just icky energy you don't want to be around. And I heard God say in my voice, in my head, and I know because the way God talks, it's very precise, concise, affirmative. Okay, it's never don't do this or don't. It's always beware this or okay. So it could possibly have been Archangel Gabriel, because it was a warning. But see, no one appeared. Usually if it's an angel will appear and form to you. If it's God, you'll just hear it, and it'll be like thunder, but it'll be like a quiet voice. It's like a quiet thunder is how I can't really explain it better than that. And God said, beware the dark actors. Just like that, verbatim, beware the dark actors. This was the dream I had the night after, the day of we learned Robin Williams and all that. So I wake up, I go, beware the dark actors, let me look that up, okay? Now, there is a musical group, all this, so I'm scrolling through and I'm like, no, that's not resonating. What's the thing you want me to find, God? Please? So it's a book. This guy was, a whistleblower, truth teller. He gets murdered. This is a true story. Okay, you can look up this book, The Dark Actors. He referred to these people, they, the T-hay, the tear, they is what I call them. Oh, that's my son. Oh, goodness. He's dramatic. He's a double Leo. So, beware the dark actors. I looked this up. I'm getting distracted from all that noise now. The book is written by, I can't remember the guy's name or what his position, it was a scientist or whatever his thing was, but he was referring to these people that were after him as the dark actors in these emails to his, friends and family who he trusted. And he's like, basically like, the dark actors are at it again. If anything happens to me, it's the dark actors, So, of course, they find him overdosed, quote unquote, overdosed on pills, leaning up against a tree and forest near around his house where he lives. Okay, they set it up like he killed himself. But I'm reading into the story. Now, Robin Williams had these superficial knife wounds on the inside of his right wrist. And they said that is not how he died. Okay? This man who said, beware the dark actors, he also had superficial knife wounds on the inside of his right wrist. And that is not how he died. So God was saying to me that Robin Williams did not kill himself, just like this man did not kill himself. And this has happened. I mean, we know this, right? All this stuff, Tesla, everything. That's why God's going to restore everything. Okay. There are some who have sinned and they know it's wrong and they go ahead and do it. But there's also those of us who have been tricked, manipulated, oppressed, forced into this system, and God knows. That's why God has such mercy. Okay? And then he also knows how fallible the human ego is. So, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to hear my son say the words, I love you, Mommy. I'm ready to not be sick anymore. I'm ready for everyone to love each other and stop judging each other. I'm ready for there to be no more fear. I'm ready for everything to be the perfect divine expression of itself. Yes. So, let me share. Opened up right up to Mark, which is my dad's name. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Now, I opened up, okay, now here's Ezekiel 43, and I opened up to that randomly the other day, and this is talking about the temple, the Lord's dwelling place, okay? Talking about the building of the temple, all the dimensions of the temple. This is, let's say, Ezekiel 42, I started at 43, so I randomly opened up to Ezekiel 43, and it's talking all about the temple and the holy district and all this stuff, the east gate, okay, the laws governing the priests, all this stuff. Because these are the laws we're going to be, the Hebrews are going to be rebuilding the church, ruling earth down here with Jesus. We're going to have to know all our priestly duties, all the rules, all the laws, okay? And I did one more random pull, all Amos. That was my first love in high school. Now, it was, I remember because it was 411 backwards and then another one. So I remember it was 11:41, I believe. And it's just real simple. Well, maybe I lost it. The parable of the wheat and the tares right here. But basically, what it said was this. This is the only line. Those who have exalted themselves will be humbled, and those who have humbled themselves will be exalted. Can't be 11:41 because there isn't 11:41. It had to have been 14. I lost it, but I remember exactly what it said. So if you people who know the Bible, and I'm sure you could just Google it and find but that's all it said. Those who have humbled themselves will be exalted. Those who have exalted themselves will be humbled. And then it was talking about the church and all that, okay? So, all those who've been risen up against, just know that you'll have your vindication when you're ruling down here with Jesus. And people are coming to you for advice because you're a high priest or priestess. Now, Isaiah 22:22. Okay, now there's a 4:4:1. These ones and fours. I know it was 1:1:1:4:1 whatever it was with the Matthew. It was all ones and fours. I remember that, but maybe I just got that stuck in my head. But God, and it was right after a little story too, where they were talking about how someone who seated themselves at a table, anyway. So Isaiah 22:22, and I opened up to this before, and I actually made a video about that. This time I actually was Isaiah 23, but I saw 2:22. I'm like, oh, like 2:2:2:2 like before. So this is all the fall of Babylon, proclaim, the proclamation against Edom, proclamation against Arabia, proclamation against Jerusalem, the judgment of Shebna, the proclamation against Tyre, all these things. Okay, so impending judgment on the earth. Okay, the song of salvation, taking refuge from the coming judgment, the restoration of Israel. So, it was like all about building the building of the temple. Okay, and then I randomly opened up to Isaiah 20, and that wasn't the first time. Actually, I opened up to that section before in Ezekiel. But when I opened up to Isaiah this time, I went like this, and I held the Bible, and I said, God, please give me some guidance as to what that dream meant with the silver key and the gold key. And I know, like, there's like a silver cap and a bronze cap on the Muslims. I don't know, these things. Okay, so I'm like, gold and silver. I know there's some gold and silver. I know there's all these gold and silver references and things pointing towards gold, silver, this stuff. But the hinge, in my dream, this door was off its hinges and leaning up against a wall, and the gold and silver key were just kind of laying on the ground. It was like saying, I don't even need keys, because for me, the passageway is open. There are certain people who just, the passageway is open, okay? The Hebrews, the noble class are going to rule with Jesus. The passage, we don't even need keys. The passageway is never shut, okay? So, I was praying, please God, specifically, tell me about these keys. What is it? What do they mean? It wasn't the first time I had golden keys. Okay, so these two keys. So I opened up to Isaiah 23. But I go back to 22:22 a little bit. I'm like, okay. In the valley of vision, okay, okay, so down here, Isaiah 22, yeah. So I'll start where it's okay, so Isaiah 22:20, because this is my Eliakim is a form of my son's name. So then it shall be in that day that I will call my servant Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah. Sounds like Himalka, which means queen. I will clothe him with your robe and strengthen him with your belt. I will commit your responsibility into his hand. He shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. Okay, so Isaiah 22:22. Okay? I'm going to start reading right at Isaiah 22:22, which is the last line right down here, okay? It says, and remember the question I asked, and I was holding the Bible asking God, okay? Isaiah 22:22, the key of the house of David. I will lay on his shoulders, so he shall open, and no one shall shut, and he shall shut, and no one shall open. God moves me, so I don't apologize. I am just as God made me to be. So, too sensitive? No, just the perfect amount of sensitive God made me to be. So 22:23 goes on to say, I will fasten him as a peg in a secure place, and he will become a glorious throne to his father's house. Now, the key of the house of David shall be laid on the shoulder of Eliakim. Anna and Zosham, that's my name and my son's name. And God gave me Zosham, and I hated the name Gretchen. I came home crying the first day of school, and my name's Anna, my name's Anna, my name is Anna. Anna and Zosham are the names of Jesus' grandparents, who immaculately conceived the Virgin Mary, and this is why she's the Virgin Mary, and this is why they can't contest Jesus' purity and righteousness, because he was of a mother who, he wasn't just a virgin birth, Mary was a virgin birth. She was born of Anna and Zosham immaculately. So they could never say, your mother was of this, your mother was of that, your mother, she was conceived immaculately. Now that doesn't mean that a sperm and an egg didn't, but God made that happen, okay? So, I didn't know I was going to get that moved this time, because I was already done getting moved from it yesterday. So this is God, like, no matter what. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, come soon. I can't wait to be home. Oh. They will hang on him all the glory of his father's house, the offspring and the posterity, all vessels of small quantity, from the cups to all the pitchers. In that day, says the Lord of hosts. Right? He's the Lord of hosts because we are the hosts. He's the Lord of the hosts, and we are the hosts. The stewards, the hosts, the ushers. The priestly class. So in that day, says the Lord of hosts, the peg that is fastened in the secure place will be removed and be cut down and fall, and the burden that was on it will be cut off, for the Lord has spoken. Meaning, you're going to be cut off from the light of God if you keep rejecting it. There's going to come a point where, and there's not going to be any rebellious souls allowed to exist. They will be destroyed, but you will have plenty of time and plenty of chances. But don't waste your time being a skeptic, being agnostic. But that God had almost killed me, because he's like, what are we going to do? She's not doing drugs to hit rock bottom. She's not doing crazy stuff to end herself up in the hospital. She keeps being too loving, too forgiving, to the point where it's killing her. She's giving too much. It's going to kill her. I'm going to have to, like, really almost kill her to wake her up. Because she's not going to do, I wasn't going to do anything to get me to that place. I wasn't going to get these people out of my life. I wasn't going to, right? And God sent me to, right when I had to do this, and I thought I did it before, but I didn't, because I kept pulling people back into my life, just like I did with my twin flame. Kept trying to pull back. God sent me a random email. Every now and then I'll get a random one from the Sacramento library. Months and months in between. I think I've only gotten 2, 3 maybe in a couple of years. At the very exact time that I had to say to my dad and my 2 best friends, well, one I might not even hear from her because she's getting back together with her ex who's an alcoholic, and I just said, I'm done. I'm only, because God keeps telling me, follow me, trust in me, listen to me, focus on me, okay? And there's other things going on with the welfare department. They're not giving me my disability, and then the welfare department saying, are you working at the, after, like, Lord, I can't wait for this to be all over. But what I was trying to say was, God, please reel me back to what I was trying to say. Yeah, almost having to, being so inflamed and rashes and hives and all this stuff, being skeptical. We're taught to question authority, right? Question authority, question. I don't know if that's the best way. Is it really? But then I think, well, it is all just laid out like that according to divine will anyway, so however it was going to happen, it was going to happen the way God wanted it to happen. So, he works with us individually, and every story is different but the same. Just like in the Bible, every story is different but it's the same. Because he wants us to learn the true core fundamental lessons. We don't need to worry about all this other stuff. Yeah, just let God work through you, I went off, there was a point I was trying to make and I went off too much on a tangent, but yeah, God will restore all, and anything we need to know, we go straight to God. That's what, I don't give advice. I say, go get in the stillness and silence. How do you think the people who got the messages to write the Bible? That's what I do. But, I'll go to the Bible for confirmation. But God will guide me straight to what I need to know. The most important thing I need to know, there it is. This is the way God has guided me. Go with your guidance. That's what we all need to allow each other to have our own individual relationship with God. And not compared, because we all want to do that, right? So an important part I want to talk about here, because I had this question as well. I said, God, how are we going to know? We've been so far removed from the way you want us to live on the earth and fruitful and all this. How are we even going to know how to work the crops, what to do, when to do it? And it says right here, so listen to the teaching of God. Isaiah 28:23. Give ear and hear my voice. Listen and hear my speech. So when I flipped open to Isaiah, so I read through all this, and so this answered even more questions, but it went right to where the key of the king. Okay. Oh my God. Give ear and hear my voice. Listen and hear my speech. Does the plowman keep plowing all day to sow? Does he keep turning his soil and breaking the clods? When he has leveled its surface, does he not sow the black cumin and scatter the cumin? Plant the wheat in rows, the barley in the appointed place, and the spelt in its place? For he instructs him in right judgment. He, capital He, speaking about God. For he instructs him, the farmer, in right judgment. His God teaches him. For the black cumin is not threshed with a threshing sledge, nor is it cartwheel rolled over the cumin. But the black cumin is beaten out with a stick and the cumin with a rod. Bread flour must be ground, therefore he does not thresh it forever. Break it with his cartwheel, or crush it with his horsemen. This also comes from the Lord of hosts, who is wonderful in counsel and excellent in guidance. I don't know how many times I need to tell everybody, and I wasn't even going to do any more videos. I'm like, I'll leave the videos up. I'm not going to delete it, but I just want to focus on God and me and my path. And God's like, you got to share this. Because this is what I'm saying. And there's not going to be anyone to take our books and burn them anyway. But we're going to get back to the oral tradition. Because the oral is straight from the Spirit, passed on orally, okay? So no one can take your history. They can take your books, burn them, twist them around, give them back to you, all this stuff, okay? Persecute you for having it. So we're going to be protected anyway. But God is also going to ensure that there's no miscommunication. We won't need books. We're going to go directly to God. When you have a question about the difference between sowing the golden cumin and the black cumin, right? God's going to give you the answer. That's how amazing God is, but you need to trust and believe that is available to you. How do you think I get all my answers? I don't know. I don't know what the AKE is. I don't know what the dark actors are. I don't know what's Akata comes out of my mouth. I don't know what these things are. I've never heard these things. These dreams, I don't know what 2 moons mean. I didn't even think it was anything. I didn't even put it in the title of the video. And then I watched this other one just the other day, and she's talking about 2 moons, and I'm like, oh. Last year was the trumpet dream. Okay, this year was the 2 moons dream, or whenever it was, but synchronicities with the Bible and everything. Okay, and then, and I'm not too techie, so I can't do this where I minimize myself and then put a screenshot up, but, so okay, and Gehenna, I was with someone for 9 years who was a Virgo, and Gehenna, she used to call me Gehen because she couldn't say Gretchen, because I was with them for 9 years, so I knew her since she was like 5 or something. So she couldn't say Gretchen, she would say Gehen. And Gehenna, okay, is the valley where they sacrificed all these children to Moloch. Okay, just whatever. It's not of God, so I don't give it any of my time, because these things don't even deserve a title, demon, whatever. Like, they don't even deserve a classification, name, or whatever. If it's not of God, it doesn't exist to me. I know the devil exists, okay? But I'm already in the future where I'm with God, and that's all been separated, okay? So I'm living as if that already exists for me. So I'm not being stupid and foolish, okay? We know where we are in the world and everything, but so I'm reading through here, the same section, okay? So I get, and that wasn't the beginning of Isaiah, but I read I read 10 pages or whatever it was. So I get over here to, let's see, this is Isaiah 37:13. Where is the king of Hamath, the king of Arpad, the king of the city of Sepharvaim? Sepharvaim, like, sounds like Sephira. Sepharvaim. Henna, like Gehenna, okay? And Eva, I-V-A-H, like my twin's name. There's Eva Field is right over here, okay? And this says Eva, the city of Eva, okay? I go on Wikipedia, I look up Eva. I scroll down, there's this little blue time on where it was uploaded on March 5th. And in blue it says at 11:11. And then you can click on the Iranian city where it is actually, now it's called Evak, E-Y-V-A-K, okay? But it's from the Eva, okay? Now it's called Evak. Now, because it's controlled by Iranian, so it's Evak is what they call it now. So I click on that link to go to that page, Evoc, Wikipedia. Guess when that was uploaded? 11/11/11. November 11th, 2011. Okay, and the other one was March 5th at 11/11. Evoc, my twins, name, 11/11, 11/11/11. I can't make this stuff up, you guys. It's killing me over here. Oh, God. I hurt. I'm tired. So, it's right here. Okay. So, oh man. So I'm listening to someone who keeps saying the opening of the sixth seal, 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 and all I keep seeing in my dream is the opening of this gate when I said Gaballon. And Meryl Streep was there for some reason. I'll have to do the numerology on her name. Maybe she's soul there. I don't know, but so I say Gaballon, and the gate opens. And I shared this on my channel, the dream that I had. And I know what Gaballon is. Since high school, I took Spanish, and my dad speaks it fluently, self-taught. And Gaballon is balloon in Spanish, okay? But if you say it in English, it sounds like Gaballon. Gaballon. Sounds kind of like Babylon, right? I just made that connection today, though. And I got to do the numerology on Babylon and see if that reduces to a 6. So he keeps saying, and this is like Shomrim. Oh, I'm going to say his name wrong. But anyway, he's one of the prophets, saints, watchmen, whatever out here. And he kept saying that, and I kept seeing my dream and that gate opening. And I was like, yeah, I remember it's Gaballon. God was like, yeah, keep going. I'm like, okay, because I got the number from 9/23/2017. Would be 9/5/1. Yeah. Reduced it to however I did it. It reduced to a 6. Okay, the date September 23rd, 2017. It added all up, reduce it to its smallest. It's a 6. I look up 6 in Gematria. And it's the feminine Israelitet, one who wrestles with God. I do, and that's separate because I was just doing the numerology for the day for September 23rd. I was getting September 21st though, because I kept getting my sister's name, and then the assistants in my son's class is her name and her middle name, Kimberly Diane, and then the teacher's her best friend's name, which is Dawn, and then Kim everywhere, and her birthday is September 21st. And she's a Libra Virgo cusper. So anyway, so I'm really getting the 21st, September 21st as being big, and that's, so, but I did the numerology for the 23rd, and it's a 6, and it's Israel, the feminine of Israel, one who wrestles with God. So that's me, baby. And so I look up. So last night I'm watching this, and okay, so this dream's coming back to me. So I'm like, okay, I'll Gematria Gaballon. And in the English, it reduces. In the Hebrew, it reduces to 141. Okay, so that's 55. That's the 411 combination I get all the time. Has to do with, it means mountaineering, also means assassination. And I looked up 411 assassination, and just in history, 411 Elm Street is where JFK was assassinated. On April 11th, 4/11 is when Lincoln had a premonition, precognitive dream of his assassination, which occurred 3 days later on the 14th. That's a number. My house is 411. Okay, so all these, I know it was Matthew 1, there was like some 4s and an 11, it was 114, but okay, so anyway, and then the cards, there's the pages, card numbers, 14, 41. So, like, okay, so the 6, Gabayon, so in the Hebrew it's 141, that reduces to a 6. In the English Gematria, it's 384, which reduces to 15, which reduces to a 6. And in my dream, I said Gabayon, and this gate opened, and he kept saying the opening of the 6th seal, and the word Gabayon reduces to 6. So, I don't know, I'm just putting it together as I'm seeing, and I don't know the Bible, and I don't claim to know even what's in the Bible. We don't know. So I'm just saying, as I'm given it from God, my dreams, synchronicities, numbers, and how it all lines up, I present it to you. Take it how you may, or leave it how you may, or a little bit of both. However, so that's really important. About we're gonna get there's nothing to worry about. Every little thing. We don't know how to sew. We don't know how to do this. We don't know how to that. God's gonna. We're going to be taught everything. We're going to relearn it all. It's all going to just come back and flow naturally. It's going to, right? Do we not see the farmer knows how to do what he's doing? He knows what he's doing, right? How does he know to do that? Because from the very beginning, there wasn't a book where, before they wrote the Bible, there wasn't a book. They were getting the messages straight from God. And that's what we're going to return to. Oh, and there was another part of here where, okay. So Uriel, okay? Uriel is Ariel. Now, raining fire and stuff because, okay, let me find it here. I don't think I went that far. Yeah, I think it stopped at 777. Where's the place where he's saying he's Ariel? Patience, please. It's a virtue. But I know it's somewhere in Isaiah. Okay. So, woe to Jerusalem, Isaiah 29, 1 through, well, we won't read all this, but, so, Isaiah 29 starts. Woe to Ariel, the city where David dwelt. Add year to year, let feasts come around, yet I will distress Ariel. There shall be heaviness and sorrow, and it shall be to me, Azariel, me, capital M, Azariel, and it shall be to me, Azariel. I will encamp against you all around. I will lay siege against you with a mound. I will raise siege works against you. You shall be brought down. Ooh, the way that was some, right? Rhythm, poetic rhythm. You shall be brought down. You shall speak out of the ground. Your speech shall be low, out of the dust. Your voice shall be like a medium's, out of the ground. And your speech blah, 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 shall whisper out of the dust. Moreover, the multitude of your foes shall be like fine dust, and the multitude of the terrible ones like chaff that passes away. Yes, it shall be in an instant, suddenly. You will be punished by the Lord of hosts, with thunder and earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire, the multitude of all the nations who fight against Ariel. Even all who fight against her and her fortress and distress her shall be as a dream of a night vision. but a memory. Anyone who rises up against. Okay? It shall even be as when a hungry man dreams, and look, he eats, but he awakes, and his soul is still empty. Or as when a thirsty man dreams, and look, he drinks, but he awakes, and indeed he is faint. And his soul still craves, so the multitude of all the nations shall be, who fight against Mount Zion. Right? Anyone, this is, and I've already said this before I even read the Bible, anyone, we're going to get to a place where it's going to be God's perfect kingdom the way he intended it to be. There's not going to be any evil. They're going to have plenty of chances to return to God, okay? Believe that. God is a merciful and loving God. God has grace. God has mercy. Forgive. Okay, so, but once their chances are all, it's like, how many more chances? It's like, as above, so below. We do this down here. Like, how many times has someone got to lie, cheat, steal, until you just got to cut them out of your life altogether and never talk to them again? So basically, they don't exist. So God will destroy these souls, okay? But, no, if any do try to creep up and rise up against, what will happen? Nothing. They're not. They're powerless. Okay. So Ariel is considered the city where David dwelt, and it shall be me as Ariel. So God is saying, if you mess with, right, the holy mountain, the holy temple, the holy people, you're basically messing with God. And there's this line from, I think it's called Beautiful Girls. I think it's like maybe the first one Natalie Portman was in, and Uma Thurman. And when I watched movies, it's a cute movie though. But I think it's called Beautiful Girls. And one of the dudes gets beat up, and it makes his friend mad, and so he goes to the dude's house and doesn't rough him up, but he knocks on the door and makes, he goes, he said, how does it go? You mess with my friend, you mess with me. You mess with me, you mess with you. That means if you mess with God, you're going to destroy yourself. You've just self-sacrificed. There's not going to be any more of this years and years of that's how we got to where we are now. Okay? Anything that rises up, boom, destroyed. Boom. Like a bear, just, right? Yeah, men are all tough when they're wrestling other men and stuff. Try wrestling a bear. Boom! One bitch slap from a bear, you're dead, dude. That's going to be like the paw of God, the hand of God striking you down. It's going to be swift and quick, and you're going to be utterly, ultimately, totally extinguished. Right? Like magic, just bound, dissolved, vanquished, just like the body does when it's healing. It finds all those things and binds it, and dissolves their power, and then exports it from the body. Right? The body of Christ. It's never going to be infected again. Well, I don't know, but I know what the promise is, and it's coming, and I didn't have to read the Bible to get that, but it's confirmed. It's right there in the Word, Our brothers and sisters, if we're not reincarnations of these people. I was thinking, isn't that going to be cool, like, if, we're back in the kingdom of Jesus, and they're like, hey, remember Rivka? You were reading, yeah, that's you, chick, that was you, yeah, right. And then, or whatever, you know what I mean, like my brother Isaac or whatever. Hey, did you know that you're Asaph the seer? So, I don't know. I just think it's going to be so cool. It's going to be fun. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so pure. It's going to be so peaceful, tranquil. It's going to be all the beautiful things, right? And there's no fear. We're only going to know what we need to know. We don't need to know all the, some people will be given the astronomy, and some people will be given this, and other people will be given that, but we're all going to know basic things of how to farm, and how to build our home, and how to love properly, and how, just strip down to the bare bone fundamentals of just what's good. And when I was reading in here, it also says, and I made this prayer right around the same Saint Lucy came to me and everything. It was, oh gosh. Anyway, I already did a video about that. I can't repeat everything all the time, but I was like, oh, I want to create beautiful things and videos and this and that, but the only thing is the only people who won't be able to see it are people who are blind. Oh man, and then they're missing out on so much, just like the beautiful flowers, all the things that just. I want everyone to see how beautiful God's creation is. I want everyone to hear how beautiful the sound of the water, the birds, people who are frustrated, who can't speak, whether they have Tourette's or stuttering or they're mute like my son or what. And it just, all that is going to be restored. I had a dream that my hair was growing right before my eyes. And it's not that I'm vain. I don't care. I don't wear makeup. But because you're not vain, because you've humbled yourself, you'll be exalted and you'll have whatever beautiful hair you want, right? This is how it's going to work. Those who have humbled themselves will be exalted, and those who have exalted themselves will be humbled, because everything's backwards and twisted around down here, right? That's why God's people have been oppressed and dejected and rejected, and it doesn't matter if you look like a young white girl or an old black man. They know, the devil knows who God's children are. He knows who the Hebrews are, and he knows that we're God's army, we're God's ruling class, the priests and priestesses. But the devil also knew he had a limited amount of time, and God gave me this. The net was woven before it was cast. So as soon as God put that thing into motion, life wanting to live, those gears, everything was all set into motion. So you could have sped it up to see what happened and go back, and because it's all like clockwork, okay? It's mathematical and perfect. The stars, okay, that's God. So the net was woven before it was cast. So as soon as everything was created, the whole story was created, and we're just living in the unfoldment of that. So that's why we say God's promise, because we know what's coming, because it's been coming since the beginning. The whole story was written, right? First it was written. So anyway, I better stop there, because we're at like almost getting near the 2 hour, okay, hour 45 minutes. So, but I love you guys. Not but, and confirmation on that. But that's true. And Archangel Gabriel really wanted you to know how much I love you. Bless you all. Peace be upon you all. And the best advice I can give anyone is the same advice I always give, is just get in the stillness and the silence, and you'll get your answers that are specific for you in your journey, straight from the one who created you in your journey. Okay? If you're having doubts with the Bible because you're learning about the truth about the Bible and all this stuff, God says it's okay. You can put the Bible down and you can go directly to God. Okay? Our ego gets trapped up in all the, I need to read this and I need to do this and I need to do. If you just be, which is stillness and silence, that's what being, we be, that's how we be, right? Anything you ask, God will show to you. And it's going to get to the point where we're just communicating with God. It's not, show me this sign and this miracle and this. That's just going to be everyday. Like, that's pretty much my everyday life. Once you come to Christ, you see that it's just everyday life. So, all I know is what God has shown me. And he's shown me beautiful mansions with rolling hills and crystal pathways and perfect love between all, the pure love of God between all sisters and brothers. I know how it's going to be. It's going to be beautiful. So know it's coming, and it's all good. But you have to ask Jesus into your heart. You have to accept God, and let God take the reins of your life, and fuse your will with the will of the one who created you, the one who made you, okay? Your spark, from which your original ignition, okay, came from the Most High God. God, source creator, who's perfect. So everything about God is perfect. The love of God, the patience of God, the mercy of God, the lessons of God, and the discipline of God. Everything is divine and perfect. When you surrender your will to God, the only free will that I believe we have is accepting God or rejecting God. And good luck with rejecting God. Even mildly, like agnostic. Okay? Especially if God knows who you are before you do. God knows more than you. So we have to surrender our ego in order to do this, okay? To allow God to be number one in our life. And it takes a lot of faith. It takes all of your faith. You have to be complete faith. Your whole being is just filled with faith. You have to be faith. So, is there anything else, God, that you wanted me to share? We're strong. Things are going to be balanced out. And we're going to be able to see the world the way God intended it for it to be, and for us all to live. And it's just going to be beautiful in pure abundance. The proliferation, when it's just all love and no fear. Imagine it. Imagine yourself there. Dream about it. Imagine it. Think about it. Create it. Draw pictures of it. Write about it. See visions of it. Speak it. Speak of it. Okay? It's coming. It's upon us. If there's anything else that I need to share, then I will. I think we covered it. Just repeating and reiterating the most important parts. Just let your life be filled with peace. Okay? Just be at peace knowing that God's coming, okay? Jesus will return, and it'll, the promise, right? The promise. What we've been promised. All of God's people, the Gentiles, the Jews, even the sinners, who they have a promise too. We've all been promised. Okay? So you can accept your inheritance or you can reject it. And ultimately, if we get to the end, when it's either, okay, this is the last for 1,000 years or whatever it is, then, you know, I want all to be restored, all souls to be made new again. And I truly believe that can happen. According to God it can, but we can accept or reject God. So I just pray that everyone accepts God, and it's so easy. There's a street preacher, this woman in, I forget what area of the country, I want to say like Missouri or Michigan or something, but I was watching a video on YouTube of, it's like not a channel, it's like a movie they made of her. It was just some Christian stuff I was watching. And she's a street preacher, and she's, you know, she's had not an easy life and being a single mom and all this stuff. And she just goes around preaching the gospel on the street, you know, and she tells people it's as easy. She brings people to Jesus every day, and she says it's as easy as this. Just accept Jesus Christ into your heart, into your life. Say, Jesus, I love you. Please come into my heart. Please take over my life. I'm sorry for everything wrong that I've ever done. I repent. That's letting go of the ego. Because we say, well, no, I don't have any regrets because I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't go through all that bad stuff. Well, I mean, maybe you could even be a better person if you didn't go through all that bad stuff. Those are causal relationships we draw that we don't have any substantial evidence of, you know, because we don't know any other way. Our life is how it is. And so all we need to do, say, Jesus, I repent, please forgive me. You're already forgiven. We need to come to a place of humility where we humble ourselves and admit we've done wrong. And we all have. But we'll be made perfect again the way we were intended to be. And live in a perfect world, okay? Please, Jesus, please come into my life. Please come into my heart. I love you. I repent. I accept you as my Lord and Savior. You are my King. I call him my King, my brother, my King brother. And it's as simple as that. 5 seconds, bam. And then live your life in love of God. And put God first. And keep choosing God as your first priority in every now. Because sometimes when you're going through rough stuff, you got to keep choosing God every second. Okay, I choose God again. Yep. Oh, yep. It's God again. Yep. What? Okay. Yep. God. A, B, C, D, E. Nope. Which one's God? A. Yep. A again. Just keep choosing God. Keep choosing God. Keep choosing God. And some days are going to be easier than others. God never leaves us nor forsakes us. God's always there. Even if we're going through hard times, it's because there's things that need to be done. We need to be fortified. We need to be strengthened. We need to be forged in God's. And the smiting, we're being forged like the wrought iron gate, right? You see those standing. Do you see all the little wood gates and this and plastic vinyl? No, they don't last. They have to keep being replaced. But those wrought iron gates, even if they bend over, fall over, they got to be, you know, structured, put back up because the ground moves and everything over time. But those things, right, forged by hammer and fire, forged by God, they're strong. So know that that's what you are, because you're straight from God. How could you not be? So I went off a bit there at the end. So I love you all. Blessings to you all. And peace be upon you all.